Hi guys, it's Josh Weave here from Border Hills Honey. Some of you have been asking whether or not this coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever they're calling it tomorrow, um, how it's affecting our farm, our operations, what we foresee coming down the pipe, and any issues that we might see coming down the line. Um, one of the uh, One of the initial items, I guess, would be the bees are going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks, highly likely, maybe somewhere around 2 weeks from now. And usually I have a part-time student just come out and help me with some of the heavy lifting. Kayla's typically these days, over the last 2 years, we've transitioned to this as she's busy with uh, direct sales and retail and growing that side of our business. So typically this summer student would come out and help me move the hives out into the bee yards, and it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. I can't in good conscience with the recommendations of social distancing, I can't ask him to come out and do some work here at the farm. I mean, we'd be very close together, and we both don't know kind of who we've been in contact with. So that would be the first item. Second item would be getting supplies. Some of it stems back to when there was blockades on the railroad due to protests. We're finding that BMaid, though they're working their tails off over there and doing their best that they can with under the circumstances, uh, we still haven't been able to get our dry feed. So we get, I believe it's Bee Pro and what's the other one? Anyway, a couple different dry feeds that we get coming in, and those ones have been delayed. I just heard back from BMaid that they did get the Apivar strips in, which is a treatment for the mites, which are the biggest issue with our bees. I mean, as far as all beekeepers, mites are basically like little ticks on the bees that can spread or make the bees more susceptible to different viruses, which is absolutely something that we as human are now working with when the immune system is suppressed or in some way interfered with, and one becomes more susceptible to it. I mean, obviously, anything we can do to keep that from happening is what we're doing in our operation. So the Apivar is a strip that goes in the hive and takes care of those mites for us. Um, so other than the dry feed, it sounds like everything is in order as far as supplies from BMaid. Our woodenware that we've ordered from Lewis and Sons, I know they're working on that right now. I received an email saying they're into our order, and so we should be receiving that shortly. So we'll be able to do some assembly, and we'll send some assembly over to Brad over at Faith Apiaries, who does a really good job of assembly. There are some items that I really don't enjoy making frames, and he does, whether he enjoys it or not. He does offer that service, and I like to support others in the industry if I can. So we'll be sending some frames over to him for assembly, and so as far as supplies go, we're pretty much all good. I still have half a bag of both different dry feeds that we do supply the bees with, half a bag of each, and so that should get us through at least a 2 week period early on when the bees are not foraging quite as often. But I really do need that dry feed, so I'll be keeping my eye on that. As far as the retail side of our business goes, not sure whether to expect a slowdown or not. I know honey is known as a natural immunity booster, and so a lot of people will be going into the stores to pick up their regular groceries, and hopefully they do pick up some of our honey supporting locally. We would be very appreciative of that. Supporting Canadians as ourselves, and any other Canadian businesses that you can support during this time. Self-employed individuals, they don't get employment insurance, to my understanding. They don't qualify for that. Hopefully the government does bring out some items for the self-employed, and I understand they are going to be supporting farmers and such through this period. Whether that affects us or not, we'll see. So if you do get out and are able to support locally, definitely do that. And we appreciate your support as well if you are a customer of ours. So hopefully the retail side doesn't get affected too much from this. My main concern would be farmers markets and such. If for any reason they do decide to shut down farmers markets, or we just don't feel like it's a great idea for us to be out in contact with the public to that extent. Right now, it's not really a worry for myself and for Kayla in the fact that our age group, I've done some research, our age group has, if we do contract it, we have 99.8% chance, according to the current statistics, of recovering from the virus. But it's more of a respect to those more susceptible. We do have some individuals in our families who would be susceptible. Elderly individuals are susceptible. And so hopefully we can continue with this social distancing thing, and there's a vaccine on the way, and that will definitely help those more vulnerable populations, and then we can get back to normal life. So there is a bit of a fear that we could lose a portion of 30% of our income through farmers markets, which would definitely put a hit on our business as it is this year, until that's all settled and figured out. I haven't really been receiving a lot of calls from beekeepers looking for bees. I think that there's going to be a bit of a glut on bees available this year, and if what I'm hearing is correct, we're not in a rush to sell a lot of bees. We're in growth mode, so we're looking to double our operation this year. Selling the bees is just a nice little cash flow thing early on in the year that helps us with buying supplies and other items throughout the year, rather than waiting till winter time or using the farmers market money for supplies and things like that. So not really concerned about that side of things. The bees themselves, I believe they're looking fairly healthy. I don't want to look too much right now, and we did our best in the fall. We set them up. We had a few issues with humidity in the shed, which hopefully we can fix for next winter. But I'm still feeling optimistic about the bees. I'm feeling optimistic about the season, and really feeling optimistic overall about everything. If we can get through the next 2 weeks and into spring, and we have a good spring, I'll be very happy about it. Some of the businesses, the ones that rely on selling products and items like that, or their workforce, they're protecting their workforce, and people are getting laid off. Fortunately, the government is stepping up and waiving the 2-week period for unemployment, but unemployment only pays out about 2/3 of what your regular wage is. So I mean, if that is an extended period of time where people aren't able to go to work, that'll definitely affect the economy and will affect the amount of money people have to spend on items such as honey and other produce items. So as always, we appreciate your support, your local support of farmers, Canadian farmers, and ourselves, and everybody else who relies on their own self-employment to further their business or further their life. And definitely appreciate your support. Other than that, not really much more in regards to affecting our beekeeping business and ourselves personally. Both Kayla and I are lucky to be in positions that will continue on whether there is coronavirus or not. Myself being an accountant, and Kayla working with special needs individuals. Both of those positions will need continuous work on them, we're both spending 2 weeks at home after our trip to the States, and I'm working from home, and she's currently not working. But after those 2 weeks, we'll be back to work, and things will hopefully go on relatively normally for us. We're just keeping everybody else in our thoughts as that goes on. What about you? How is this COVID-19 coronavirus thing, how is it affecting you? How's it affecting your operation? Whether you're a beekeeper or you're into something else, is there, are you seeing support for yourself there? And we're really thinking of you and hoping that everything is going to be all right through the next couple of months of turmoil. Happy to be able to get into the bees in the next 2 weeks sometime. So if you are bored at home and want to maybe learn about bees or just see what we have going on, we're just going to follow ourselves around and talk about what we're doing with the bees. And if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to hear more, hit that bell. It'll send you a notification every time we post another video. And thanks for watching.